Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is going to be a period Q&A where I am going to be answering all of your frequently asked questions about periods. I'm going to be answering questions for every single thing to do with periods, every topic, because a little while ago I posted on my community tab, hey guys, thinking of filming a period Q&A soon, basically where I answer any questions you have about periods, dealing with periods, how to make periods easier, etc. Any period questions, just reply to this post with your questions so that I can film this video. I really want to help you guys out. And so that is literally exactly what this video is going to be. So I hope that with this video I'm able to help you because I got a ton of questions and I bet a lot of them are very common questions for when you're having a period. Periods can be very confusing at times, and so I thought I could help by answering some of the frequently asked questions about periods. Little disclaimer, any advice that I give in this video is not like medical advice or anything like that. It's just my opinions and insights on having a period and what I think is normal as someone who has been having their periods for not even a year. So what I'm basically saying is just like don't take my advice to be like medical advice, if you know what I'm saying. Before we get into this video, please like this video and comment down below why you're here, like if you just got your first period and you have some questions, or if you've had your period for a while but you're still a little confused on having a period and you just want some answers to your most commonly frequently asked questions. Just comment why you're here down below, and also please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more period related content and teen lifestyle videos and all of that stuff. And yeah, I do not want to talk anymore. I want to answer you guys' frequently asked questions about periods. So let's get into the video. So I have my computer right here and I'm looking at all the comments under the community post that I left so I can answer all the questions. So the first question I thought I would answer, since when this video is going up, we're in the middle of summer, is what do you do if you got your period in the beach or pool? So luckily this has never happened to me, but okay, so first I would recommend always being prepared whenever you do go to the beach or pool. One, make sure that you know when your period is coming. Like if your periods are regular, make sure you know when it's due to come. And if you have irregular periods especially, always make sure that in your beach bag or rolled up in your towel, you have a pad, you have a tampon, you have some sort of feminine hygiene product that you feel comfortable using. But it could happen where you are just I think the best thing to do in that situation would be, most pools have like little locker rooms or like bathhouses, and most beaches do too, like where you can go to the bathroom, like just a little room. And so you can go in there, and if they don't have any pads or tampons to buy, then honestly just fold up and put it in your pants or put it in your bathing suit, and make sure to bring a pair of shorts along as well so that you don't see the tissue like poking out of the crotch of your bathing suit. But if there is no bathhouse or beach house or like bathroom or anything near the beach or pool, then you can always get in your car and see if you have any spare napkins. I mean, that would probably be worst case scenario, but you can always try that. What's the easiest way to tell somebody you got your period? Parents, carers, etc. I actually didn't even have to tell my mom that I got my period because I have a very open family, and she was like in the bathroom with me while I was like wiping. And so she actually saw the blood on the toilet paper before me. But before I got my period, I was always like so nervous about how I was gonna tell her, because it's just such a special moment in your life. You want it to be a moment you'll remember forever, and like if you don't get it perfect when you tell the person, you might be stressed about that. But honestly, I would recommend just telling her or telling them, whoever you live with. I saw this funny thing that I was planning on doing with my mom, but she ended up being in the bathroom. But it's like going into the kitchen or the living room or like the bedroom or wherever your parent or guardian is, and just throwing a bunch of pads and tampons in the air and screaming, I got my period. I was gonna do that. I thought that was gonna be a really fun way to tell my mom. Honestly, you shouldn't be nervous about like telling someone that you got your period, because it's a completely natural process. It's not something to be like mad at you for. They're not gonna blame you for getting it. It's actually a good sign when you get your period. It's a sign that your reproductive system is working well. Just tell them, muster up your pride and all of your strength and courage, and just tell them. And I promise you, if they are, they will not be mad at you or anything like that. How would I get a period product from my locker to a bathroom without making it noticeable? Okay, so before school starts, I'm thinking of making a whole like back to school period tips video. Let me know if you'd want to see that down below in the comment section. But honestly, I've seen tips online like sticking it in the waistband of your pants, or if you have a tampon, like kind of putting it in your shoe. But there's this really awesome tip that I've heard going around, and I honestly just think it's so smart. When you're at school, if you're self-conscious about not only taking your pad from your locker to the bathroom, but about the noise too, honestly just wear like a bunch of pads stacked on top of each other before you go to school, and then when you use the bathroom, just rip off the stain pad that's on the top and there will be a fresh pad waiting for you underneath, and then you don't have to worry about taking a new pad into the bathroom with you or about the noise of opening a pad. So I think those are really good tips.
myself.
Just wondering any certain brands of any products that are good with sensitive skin and good quality pads, tampons, etc. I use Always brand for pads, and honestly they are so amazing. This video is not sponsored in any way. I'm saying this with like an open heart. Always pads are so great. I have really sensitive skin too, and like when you're sitting in your own blood for so long, your skin can get really like
Irritated.
And so I would recommend Always brand. I've been using them since I got my first period and they're amazing, so that's the brand that I would recommend. How can I deal with mood swings with teachers and adults? So honestly, I am so when I am on my period, so I totally relate. It sounds so underrated, but just remembering to do a sort of body check, it's called, and make sure that you're grounded and making sure to take nice deep breaths, stay in the center of the moment of where you are. If you're like about to yell at someone or start crying, just remember you're here in the moment, and just remember it's probably your period hormones, and just take a nice deep breath in for 5 seconds and then let it out for 5 seconds, and just make sure that you stay grounded with where you are. But of course, to be on the safe side, always make sure that you have some tissues with you if you do start crying. Do you have any tips on how to swim as a pad user? Yes, I actually do, because I have actually gone swimming before when I'm on my period without ever wearing a tampon, and actually without ever even wearing a pad. So first of all, I did go swimming when I was on my period, like when it was at the lightest point of my cycle.
What?
Did you know that the water pressure usually stops a medium level flow when you're on your period? Water pressure can stop your flow temporarily while you swim, but if you laugh, cough, sneeze, or move around, the pressure can change and a small amount of blood might come out. However, the good news is it probably won't be visible, because obviously swimsuits are waterproof, right? Right. So, won't the blood just like absorb? Honestly, that's what happened with me. I just wore a dark bathing suit. Water pressure usually stops your period anyway, so you really do not have to worry about that. Just make sure to pack a pair of shorts with you for when you get out of the pool, just in case you do end up leaking, so that you can pull the shorts up. Can you tell the difference between spotting and discharge on some of your undergarments? I cannot, and it gets difficult sometimes. So spotting you will be able to define really easily, because spotting should have a color to it. Spotting is usually like a really light red or light brown or light pink. Like it looks like a very light period. Discharge is like clear or even white at times. Is it okay to work out on your period? I mean, yeah, even though it doesn't really do it for me, it's been proven to ease period pains, weirdly enough. So yeah, of course it's like okay to work out on your period. If you can work out while there's
blood gushing out of your body,
props to you. I've just never been able to do it because of my like comfort level. I just hate working out. I'm certainly not gonna do it when I'm like on my period. But yeah, it's certainly like okay to work out when you're on your period. What helps with really bad cramps? So I'm gonna put a little list right here, and that is all the things that will help you with cramps. So 1, hot water bottle. 2, heating pad. 3, dark chocolate. 4, a heavy blanket and or heavy pillows, because pressure really helps. Hot tea, relaxation, and stretching. All of those should really help you with bad cramps. I haven't ever gotten my period yet, but today and yesterday when I wiped, there is watery light pink discharge. Does that mean I'm about to start my first period? So that actually could be your first period, because when I started my first period, it was like a really weird light pinkish purple, and then it got red. But yeah, that could be a sign that your first period is either there or on its way. How have you been able to make your periods less painful? Okay, so honestly, there's like nothing you can do to completely get rid of period pains, but I found what works for me is just relaxing and taking time for myself, watching my favorite TV shows, and honestly giving myself a break and taking some pain reliever also really helps me. When you get your first period, is it a lot of blood? Okay, so this is a really good question and I'd love to answer this. It's different for everyone. For me, it was not a lot of blood, and my periods didn't start getting heavy till around like my second period. When I got my first period, it was like a little heavy on like the day 2, day 3 area, but it was really just like a light pink, light red color, and then it went away. It was just like light pink, light red for a week. It depends on everyone. Everyone's different. As I said, everyone's always going to be different for anything to do with your body, but it's typically not very heavy, no. What do you consider early or late for getting your first period? So for me, this is not based on science or like anything at all. This is just based on like opinions. I think that like 8 years old would be like really early. It's not like scientifically bad, because like you can get your period early. I just think that would like suck getting your period that young, like that early. And late, I would consider like 16 or 17 a little late, because like all my friends pretty much have gotten their periods and we're 14. My mom got her period when she was almost 16, but like yeah, I consider like 16 to 17 around then to be late for getting your first period. Just a question from your subs: will you try a tampon? They don't hurt at all, and you mostly can't feel them if you put them in right. So I've addressed this before on my channel, but I do not feel comfortable using tampons right now, but I feel like when I go back to school, I'm gonna want to start wearing tampons, because I got my first period during the pandemic, and so I've never gone to in-person school while having a period, so I feel like I won't want to sit in a classroom all day with a pad on. How long does it take take for your period to become regular from when you've started it for the first time? So honestly, I had to go to the doctor because my periods were so irregular. I got my first period in November 2020 and then I got my second in December 2020 and I was like, oh great, they're gonna be regular. I was wrong because then my period did not end up coming back till the end of March 2021. I actually went to doctors in February and March because I was really concerned about that. But they all told me that it is so normal, and some people even like get their first period and then they have to wait like close to a year before they get their second one. It takes like even 5 to 10 years for your period to start becoming regular, and even then some people just don't get regular periods in general. I don't want to jinx it, but I've had my period for around 3/4 of a year now and it's been luckily really regular for me. So your body will just adjust to whatever system for having periods that it does. But don't be worried, it's completely normal to be really irregular in the beginning. What's a funny way to tell your friend you got your period? So for me, I told my best friend that I got my period through sending her the Japanese flag over and over again. I'll send a little screen recording of some of the texts we had that night when I got my first period right now. But yeah, I sent her the Japanese flag because it looks like a pad or like a white surface, and then like the red dot in the middle kind of looks like a period. So that for me really was funny. That's how she told me, and then I told her that way. I think it's a really funny way to tell your friend, just texting them the Japanese flag. How long is the period? Periods can last anywhere from 3 to like 9 days even. I have no idea who gets their period for 3 days, but whoever does, do you know how lucky you are? My periods last around 7 to even 8 days. Like the main flow lasts around like 5-ish days, and then it kind of tapers off into like light brown, so it will last around a week for most people. How do you make your periods lighter? So there's really nothing you can do about this because like the blood that's in there has to shed and come out. But I have noticed that drinking, here's my water bottle, a lot of water before and during your period, that really helps to minimize like the clots and the amount of blood coming out. And also do not do this unless advised by a parent or guardian if you are under 18, and if your doctor does not advise this if you are over 18. But taking something like Motrin, which is actually known to like kind of thin your blood out, could help. Is it normal for your period to last 2 weeks? If you're talking about your period being a very light brown color, that should be normal, because actually I went through some major problems with my period. I had like light brown, even like brownish black coming out of me for like 3 weeks in April 2021. And so yeah, it's normal, but if it's like really concentrated red blood, like the blood you would get on day 2 that just keeps pouring out of you, that is probably not normal. I would just see your doctor about that. I mean, it might be something that might not like be wrong with you, but I would still get that checked out by your doctor anyway. What medicine do you take for cramps? Because I'm nauseous on all my periods and I can't get rid of it. Okay, so this really sucks, and this honestly happens to me a lot of the time, but any sort of pain reliever like Tylenol or Motrin or Advil should really help you feel better. And honestly, taking like a stomach acid like reliever like Pepto-Bismol or a Pepsid might help with any stomach issues you're experiencing when you're on your period. How do you tell a male teacher you have your period? So luckily I have never had to do this because I haven't had my period in school, only at home. But honestly, just go up to him and tell him that you have a female problem. Literally just say those words to him. It's so funny, but it will literally work. Just go up to him, tell him you have a female issue or female problem, and he will let you go. It'll work. What does a cramp feel like? So it's different for everyone, but personally for me, it feels like there's like a little creature in there, like kind of pulling like at the skin of my uterus. It's very like twingy. Sometimes your stomach feels like really tight. Sometimes it goes all the way to your back and kind of like radiates. It's just kind of a crampy pain. Sometimes it's sharp. It's honestly different for everyone. A sure sign that your first period is on the way. I don't have cramps or spotting, so anything except that. So I've actually done a whole video on signs that your first period is coming soon. You can go check that one out right here. But basically I'll just do a little overview. Any growth spurts, major feelings of hunger or exhaustion, and bloating and moodiness are some of the main signs that your first period is coming soon. If you don't have any pads at school, what should I do? If none of my classmates have them, who do I ask, or what do I do? Okay, so there's 2 things that you can do. So one, you can either go to the nurse and ask for a period product, like a feminine hygiene product. They'll be completely understanding, and they usually have them on hand in most schools. But if they don't, then honestly just make a makeshift one and roll toilet paper around your underwear. Make it look like a pad as much as possible, and just make sure that it's really thick so that you don't like leak through the toilet paper or anything like that. What does discharge mean? It's basically just a fluid that comes out of you into your underwear. It's actually a good sign that your female reproductive system is cleaning itself out and keeping itself healthy. It should be like a clear white substance, and it's completely normal. Honestly, I was totally scared when I got it, but I've learned through my mom and the internet that it is so completely normal. After how long of spotting will my first period come? I am literally praying for my period because all my friends have it. Okay, so that spotting that you're experiencing, if it's like a light brown or red, I don't know like the details, but that might even be your first period. But honestly, please stop praying for your period. I am begging you. You will regret it so badly when you get your first period. Like, please stop praying. Stop. There is nothing to be praying for except blood coming out of you once a month and pain.
Do you want to really be praying for that?
Is brown blood okay? Yes, brown blood is actually completely normal. It's just dried blood because I don't know if you've ever like had a nosebleed or anything like that, but like when blood dries or like oxidizes, I think the term is, then it turns brown just naturally. That's just like what blood does. So if the blood's been like in your underwear for a while or like in your cervix for a while where the blood comes out, then that's completely normal. Brown blood is completely okay. How long after you get discharged do you get your period? I would say around like 6 months to a year after you start getting discharged. I don't know if that's even like scientifically proven, but that was like kind of what it was for me. And that's like around the average time it will come after you start getting discharged. But again, everyone's different. Okay, so last question because I think this is really funny. How to stop your cramps? I wish I knew. Okay, but in all seriousness, just the tips that I mentioned earlier. Honestly, for me, the two components for naturally stopping your cramps, like the most that you possibly can, are heat and pressure, because heat will really minimize the pain and like contracting of that area. And pressure really helps because pressure helps with pain in general. And also pain reliever, I mean, if you want to actually like stop the pain and not naturally, then taking pain reliever just as it like busts a headache, then pain reliever should generally help you get rid of almost all of the cramps and period pains that you're going to have during your period. Anyway guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching it. I really hope that this video was able to help you because I feel like I covered a lot of different topics in this video. I'm so sorry if this video was like extremely long. I just wanted to cover everything that you guys asked me. If I didn't get to your question, just leave it in the comment section down below and I will answer it with a reply in the comments down below because I love talking to you guys in the comments and I really want to help you out if I didn't get to answer your question. I just want to say guys, like I was on my community tab looking through all the questions so that I could answer them, and it honestly warms my heart so much and makes me want to cry when I see that so many of my subscribers and just people who saw my community tab are commenting and answering these people's questions. Just seeing you guys help each other out makes me so happy. I just really want to create a really nice open community that removes the stigma of periods and openly talks about periods because they are such a natural process. So I really hope that with this video I was able to help bring to the light some of those confusing questions that you might have when you get your first period or when you just have a period and you just don't really know like a lot about periods or how to minimize the pains of periods in general. I wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who asked these questions because of course without you this video would not be possible, so thank you for everyone who left questions. If you are watching this video and you still have questions at the end of this video, any questions that I did not get to during this video, then just please leave them down below because I would love to reply to them with some advice. Before you leave, please like this video, and if you made it to the end of this video, comment down below, remove the stigma, because honestly I have no idea why periods are so shamed and why they have such a stigma. Honestly, just being open about periods on my channel makes me so happy because I feel like I'm helping a lot of you out there. And also please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more period related content because I've made a ton of other period related videos in the past. I will link some of those down below, and I also have my whole period playlist on my channel for you guys to go check out if you want more period related videos and period like relatability. And yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching it and I love you guys. Bye!